What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. All right. Cheyenne Bryant is not a doctor. All right. Just like Umar Johnson's not a doctor, Cheyenne Bryant is not a doctor. All right. I don't know what is up with these people. They take a goddamn psychology class and they just want to go automatic doctor. And then when you ask them for their creds, they get offended. Right? They get immediately offended. Listen, nobody, absolutely nobody who earns an accreditation in any field that they bust their ass to get is going to hide that shit. They're not going to hide it. They're going to show it. Doctors show off their accreditations. Doctors show off their licensing. It's a big deal. If you are a doctor, if you put the word doctor, you have reached the height of education. You show that off. You wait for somebody to ask you, where's your diploma? Where's your degree? Where's your certificate? You sitting there, you got a mini version in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? You took pictures of it so that you can show it on your phone. You just wait for somebody to challenge you so you can be like, bam! You know what I'm saying? Like me, my thing is I got a DD-214. All the shit I say I ever done, I can prove it. I be waiting. I be like, oh, you don't believe that I did that, that. Okay, bam! Here you go. It's right there. You can read all that shit. I'll be waiting. All right? I'm telling you. Like, so, I don't know. Maybe they think that they don't have the, I don't know why they got to be done. They need a title. They want something to give them authority so that they can speak the way they speak with some sort of authority. Why can't they just go finish and get there? I mean, most of these people who pretending to be doctors, they're all right there, though. All of them are like right there. It's like, why don't you just go ahead and take that class? You know, just do that little extra thing. You know, we're not saying you don't have a degree of some sort, but don't call yourself a doctor if you ain't no doctor. That's disrespectful. That's called you stealing, right? A title that's meant for people who've earned it, right? You want to go off, you want to make your money. And the Bryant woman, yeah, she's pretty. She's about as pretty as any regular black. Look, this is the thing. Y'all be putting these women on the internet and act like she's special. She ain't special. She look like every regular, average, beautiful black woman. So what? So what? She ain't got nothing that the girl across the street ain't got. All right? All they do, they get famous. They put a little bit of coconut bowl, oil on their right here and shit. Okay, she getting a little bikini. Okay, she's doable. Okay, no problem. But her goddamn attitude is ugly. Okay? We seen how if she was really a doctor, when she got in that tiff, all right, of her own making with the guy on the podcast, she wouldn't have acted like that. That was unbecoming of somebody who's a doctor of psychology. All right? You're supposed to be a master at social engineering. So when you break character on live in front of millions of people and you start cussing somebody out because they hurt your feelings somehow by asking you a basic question that had no malice behind it, that goes to show that you clearly didn't finish the goddamn class, because I'm pretty sure one of them was like, hey, you should probably act like this in public, right, representing this doctorate which we are giving you. Come on. But anyway, I'm sick of all these fake doctors. Now, if you got an honorary doctorate, like if somebody gave me an honorary doctorate, right, which one day they might, who knows, some university may want me to come speak, right, and want to give me an honorary doctorate. You know what I would call myself? I would call myself honorary doctorate chief Babaguva Olore. That's what I call myself, because I'm a real chief, all right, and I'm a faux doctor. I'm like, I'm faux Dr. Carter. I be using the shit out of that. I call myself Dr. Carter asterisk, right? I be playing with it, right, because I know I didn't earn it per se, within the academia, but it was an honorary title given upon me, right? And I would stay at that level. I wouldn't sit here and try to pretend like I'm a true doctor, like I went to school for 8 years, right? And burn my brain in order to be specialized in this particular thing. No, I didn't do that, right? Now, if you want to call me a doctor of life, you know what I'm saying, and okay, I'll take that. But if that's the case, anybody my age should be a doctor by now. If not, you're a lifetime failure. But anyway, we're gonna listen to these people say what they got to say. There's proof. See, the thing is, when you go to school, other people go to school with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, other people be in the class too. And at some point, the shit was gonna come out, right? Like, where are the people that went to school with Umar? Where are the people that Umar taught in the school he mysteriously worked at? Where are all the boys that Umar Johnson supposedly helped out? Since he say, where are all the beneficiaries of Umar Johnson's hard work over the years? Have we ever seen one? I ain't never seen one, right? So, so all I'm saying is the truth will come out at some point. And Cheyenne Bryant using her sexuality, right, trying to mix it up with intelligence, that shit don't work. Especially when you're an asshole. You're an asshole, no matter how good you look. You good for 15 minutes. All right, then get the fuck out of my house type of shit. That's as good as you ever gonna be for any man, no matter how good you think you look and how smart you think you are when you got a nasty ass attitude. You good for 15 minutes as long as you shut the up, and then as soon as you start talking on the 16th minute, I remind myself that I probably should have never did this shit, and you got to get the fuck out. All right? And hopefully you ain't pregnant, because I ain't trying to deal with your ass for 18 years. And that's the problem a lot of you guys do. You get with somebody like her, knock her up, because you took that 15 minutes, and you got 18 years on top of that bitch. All right? Don't get stuck with somebody like her, because them good looks go away after the third time you done tapped it, because you already know how it is. After you done hit the thing a couple times, you don't see the same thing you saw the first time. So the good looks don't only take you but so goddamn far. Right? It's how your personality and who you are as an individual. That's the truth. And right now, as beautiful as she is, which is average, because she's about as beautiful as any averagely beautiful black woman as you see walking around here that don't got acne on her chest, right? But her attitude is nasty, so therefore, no. And she's getting exactly what she deserves. She just kept it real. Said she went to school. She could have did the same shit she been doing. She could have promoted herself the same way and took that doctor off and say, and just qualified herself a little bit less, and she'd have been just goddamn fine. But no, she had to take it. She had to go full retard. And now she getting her just desserts. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Afro Think Tank. Learn something. Teach them. I'm out.
Hey, y'all. My name is Shalonda. Last name Kanyeve, but most people call me Dr. K. And I went to school with Cheyenne Bryant. The very same school she got her degree from. Hold on. See that? Argosy University. See that? Argosy University. Same year. Right there. Yeah? We went to school. She was already calling herself doctor. We got into an argument about it one time because the dialogue we were having in class was, do we call ourselves doctor even though we weren't completed with school? And she said she paid so that she could be a doctor. And I said, being called doctor isn't that damn important because it's no difference than anything else. What's important is the work we do. But we got into a very heated argument about it. And our instructor said, you cannot say that you're a doctor if you haven't completed your dissertation and done with school. Period. But me and Cheyenne used to get in a lot of arguments about shit. And one of the things that she said she wanted to do was she wanted to be the next Iyanla Vanzant. So she went to a lot of her courses, studied up under her. Now, I don't know if she graduated or not, but I do know, as I just showed you, that I have my diploma. Now, what I can say is she is correct. We cannot get a psychology license with our degree because the school lost its accreditation. And that's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. So we paid a lot of money for that shit. But what I'll tell you is this. I still can, but we'd have to go back to school and do a program. And that's how we would get our degree. Can you still get your credits? Hell yeah. I had to get a job for the government, goddamn. I also am in private practice, goddamn. You can still get all your credits, your transcripts. You get access to that. You cannot get that. What the fuck is that? That's not true. So yes, she still can get it. She just lied. Now what I can say again, is she did go to school because I went with her. We were in a couple of classes together. But what I don't know is if she graduated or not. Because if she did, she'd have been able to do this. Pause. Funny, because when I first saw her, I'm like, I know her. Did I go to school with her? I don't know, maybe. But when she said she went to Argosy, that's when I was like, God damn. We actually did fucking go to school together, god damn it. When I tell you, goddamn, she was heavily in her shit. But we argued about a lot of shit that didn't make sense to me. But one thing I can say is this. What really pissed me off was the Cam Newton thing. Because instead of her saying something as simple as a father's presence or lack thereof in a child's life is very impactful. And if you're not in the house with your child, it's going to impact your child. Your presence in the home is important. Every other weekend is not enough. You need to physically be present in the home. Why? Because the image of you is so important. If you have daughters, then you know what's going to happen? They're going to pick the wrong man because you weren't there. You weren't there to tuck them in at night. You weren't there, period. So I'm not saying that picking your child up on the weekends is negative. What I'm saying is your full presence in the home is important. Your full presence. Picking them up on the weekend is not enough time. They need your full presence. So if you're going to do it, then you need to do it every other weekend, split or some shit. Because you don't know who's putting and pouring into your kids if you physically not there every goddamn day. That's what she should have said. But she didn't say that. She came at the man fucked up like. But I'm just saying. Deuces. My other issues is how she treats black men. And it's just horrible to me. And I don't think that given the space that they're in, right, where they are in society, the black woman as a therapist, our job is to build, not to tear down, not to publicly humiliate, because all we'll be doing is the exact same thing they deal with on a daily basis. One of the things I teach the couples I work with is the fact that your home environment is supposed to be a safe space. That's the only place you go for protection. And if that place is chaotic, then you don't have nowhere to fucking go. And of course, they'll look outside for that. But I'm just saying, just my issue with her teaching. And the only way she can work in her field, if she didn't get her degree, but also because of the school's accreditation, they lost their American Psychological Association. They were not accredited for it. Some of their schools were, but not all of them. And by the time I found out about it, I was damn near done with school. And there was nothing I could really do about it, but I still had an option of going in other directions, right? My master's is in clinical psychology, just like my doctorate is. So I could still be a therapist, right? Under that line as a licensed marriage and family therapist. But if you didn't get your master's, then all she can do is life coaching. But she still has more of a educational structure than other life coaches because they don't have that kind of education. That is what I will give to her, because I do know she did go to school because she went with me. We were together, but what I don't know is if she graduated or not. I can't say that, but what I will tell you is I got my transcripts last year. So when she's saying she couldn't get it, and she lied, because I got my shit. I needed them. You know what I'm saying? So again, there are elements to what she says are a lot of lies, but truthfully, right, it's a whole lot more to this goddamn story, and that's real, right, at the end of the day. My pet peeve with her then and still today is that she doesn't listen. She just responds. And it tells you that the person that is supposed to be healing is not healed themselves. And that's when we do worse to other people.
Okay, so at first I wasn't going to say nothing about this Cheyenne Bryant situation. I was like, it's a bunch of people arguing about whether or not she got a doctorate. Who cares? But then I heard her say that she was applying to be a professor at a law school. And I'm like, okay, sis, now you're going too far with the comedy, because those of us with law degrees know that you cannot just apply to be a professor. Like, you have to have a law degree first. So that's when my sirens start going off. Cause I'm like, she doing way too much now. But I got a little interested, so I went down the rabbit hole of, learning why everybody's so mad about it. And I usually don't come on here and use my platform to, talk about other people, but this is just really crazy. You ever been around somebody who, like, they start the lie and then it just get too deep, and now they in too deep so they can't get out? That's kind of like what I think is happening. Like, I do pray that she, be honest and just come clean with whatever it is that she's hiding or, trying to accomplish. But then more importantly, I hope that no one is harmed by these things she's saying and doing, right? Because there are people who are probably relying on her advice and believing what she says, and knowing she has no license, knowing she has no degree. She could be leading people astray. So my heart goes out to those people. But yeah, this is crazy.
That lady ain't got an degree, baby. I got a master's degree. Do you think I ever stopped talking about it? No. Why? Because I bled for that degree. I bled for that degree. Do you know what I had to go through to get that master's degree? So yeah, I got a master's degree, baby. And if I see a post talking about how hard it was, I'm going to repost it. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to let you know I got a master's degree, baby, because I bled for that degree. You telling me you can't come up with one of the doctorates you said you got? Where your dissertation at? Ma'am. Just lying and scamming. That's all y'all do. Just lie and scam.
Cheyenne Bryant is lying to you about being a doctor.
This is a master's diploma from Argosy University. And this is a doctoral diploma from Argosy University.
It's really unfair to the women of color, especially Black women, who have worked so hard to get the title of doctor.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and many Christians use God to dodge accountability, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Notice what happens every time people ask her a very straightforward question, like, what are your credentials exactly? Are you licensed? Did you complete the doctorate? Can you verify the degree? And rather than just answering directly, the conversation becomes, my obedience is to God, I don't have to prove myself to people, this is spiritual warfare, my sheep know my voice, and all that nonsense. Another young lady who went to the same exact university and had to use the same exact third-party verifier to get her degree verified after the 2-year cutoff period.
I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Where I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. It was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records.
Confirm that Parchment still has the ability to verify your degree, send transcripts, and do everything else. That's already on the internet. You already know that it's a lie. And rather than just being honest and taking accountability, she does this thing that some Christians do where they introduce God into the conversation, where accountability is the only thing being requested. And the second that God enters the conversation, now the whole emotional tone changes. And if people continue to ask questions, they're being demonic or haters or ungracious or whatever. Honestly, it's manipulative. Mentioning God is obviously not the same thing as answering the question. Saying I answer to God and not people sounds super deep and spiritual until you realize that the entire platform, career, and authority are built on people, especially in mental health spaces. If you're presenting yourself publicly as an expert, a clinician, a doctor, a therapist, a psychology professional, people are allowed and should ask questions about your qualifications. That's literally the whole point of public trust. And what I think is happening now is that people are becoming less emotionally controlled by spiritual language, thank you to the deconstruction movement. Because 10 years ago, someone could cry and say, God knows my heart, and quote 2 scriptures, talk about spiritual warfare, and everyone would back off immediately. People are just not doing that anymore. Ow. The internet exists forever. People are comparing interviews and timelines and statements and looking things up. And people are finally learning the difference between actual faith in God and just deflection. If somebody asks, did you or did you not complete the program? And your response is, God called me, that should make someone pause and say, Because I'm still waiting for the evidence of the 3 doctorates. The 3.
I ran into 6 degrees, 3 doctorates, a master's degree.
Accountability is not disrespectful, and I really need some Christians to understand this. Accountability is actually one of the highest forms of respect. It's respect for your audience, for your platform, for those trusting you, for those you're influencing, and honestly, if your faith is real, accountability should not be so terrifying. Like, pay attention to when God suddenly gets brought into the conversation, what's actually going on. Sometimes it's actual, genuine testimony, but that's actually less common. What it's been lately is a shield against all scrutiny and a way to avoid accountability, like you're playing dodgeball. And I hate it.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such an extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.